Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Rivals on the Pitch podcast. Today, we're going to be going over match week 16, and we'll go into match week 17 today. Today, we're also going to go over an important game. This is our third Rivals on the Pitch Rivals game. It's Liverpool at No Name Stadium, known as Spurs. We're going to go over our combined 11 for that game as well. We'll go over the mini league, and we got a bunch of other contents to go over today. All right, I'm Randy.
I'm Pat.
And I'm Alan.
Let's go.
No Name Stadium, okay.
Yeah, I'm surprised you have a name.
We'll see.
We're just going to call you, a special guest or something. No name.
You can call me
something.
Champ.
John Doe.
Champ.
John Doe. What? Champ of what?
Go ahead and call me Champ.
Let's dive into last week's games. How are you guys feeling after that? This past...
Oh, I feel good.
So,
that's
you feel
right. Because
good,
you beat the worst team in the league. Must feel good.
Yeah,
to beat...
that's why.
Hey. So we
I think Southampton was the charitable one this time.
Yeah.
All right, so we started the match week on a Saturday early morning. Arsenal against Everton. Arsenal at home hosting Everton, who was on a hot streak. They were ready to take on Liverpool.
My God.
Hot streak.
Yeah, 4 goals.
You're just trying to make it seem like there's a reason why Arsenal wasn't able to beat Everton.
Hey, listen. I don't make the cheat codes because I'm not a Liverpool fan, so I don't know why you guys didn't play them.
Codes. You have like your own FIFA glitch. Let's get a corner every time.
So I won't super get into this one. I mean, I think Everton came for one thing only, and was to not lose by any means necessary. They had, I think, maybe one shot, 2, 1 on target, 2 overall. It was that kind of game where it just felt like Arsenal, we were attacking, and it seemed like if one were to go in, the floodgates were going to open, but it just didn't happen. At the end, had to rotate players. Obviously, we have midweek games, so rotating players, and it just didn't happen for us. I think it was a good effort by Everton. They remained compact. Obviously, they did park the bus, but I'm not going to complain because that's in their position. What else can you do? You know what I mean?
It's survival.
You have to kind of right. Yeah, yeah. So you know what? I'll applaud them for being able to hold on. I think I don't want to say we ran out of ideas because we were getting shots on target. We were creating opportunities, but I mean, Pickford, fantastic job, saved some pretty good ones.
Do you think they were good enough opportunities?
Yeah, some I was surprised that he kept out. I mean, there's a shot by Saka where it's just like my jaw was on the floor. I don't know how he saved it, but
that's Pickford for you, man. Some days he pulls out those like world-class saves, and then other days he has he lets the ball go between his legs.
I mean, there's a reason why he was runner-up with the Golden Glove.
That's very true. Yeah, that's very true. And he's currently in the running for Golden Glove this season. I think he's tied with 6 with Onana and Raya, actually. And
you got to give him credit because if it wasn't for him, they would be on the bottom 3 right now. They would be. I don't know if they would be probably the same as Southampton because I don't think they would have anything to give. Honestly,
Pickford is Everton, and Everton is Pickford. Like that's this season has so far defined that and set that in stone. So they owe him a big.
Yeah. Would you be surprised if he would request a move? Honestly, I feel he's way too good for Everton, and Everton is a good team, but they're not playing like that. I wouldn't be surprised if he might be.
I feel like Everton would do anything in their power.
Cuts his loss
to keep him on because that's
to keep him. Yeah, I don't think he would want to leave on his own, but I think if Everton were to go down, I think he would know that he would have to leave. I mean, being England's number one. So as long as they're
still in the Premier League, you think he stays?
Yeah,
in Everton.
I think he stays. Yeah.
I think it's sad. I think he can do so much more on a better team. At least content for a European spot.
Maybe he's content.
I mean, this is just sad.
I think
he's getting paid, I guess. But
I mean, he gets to show off his skills, and he's England's number one. I mean, why would you want to?
And he loves the club, and I think sometimes it's not all about trophies. Maybe it's just the glory of it, you know? It doesn't have to be about trophies.
Yeah. Oh.
Exactly.
You know?
Well, in that case, Pickford to go to go to Spurs. They're looking for a goalkeeper.
Nah, we got big
they're not going to get trophies over there.
Huh?
I was just going to mention Harry Kane. I mean, if he had stayed at Spurs, I feel like they would have built him a statue. It doesn't matter what he won there. It's about the symbolism of being like a one club captain, one club leader. You know what I mean?
That's very rare.
Speaking of Harry Kane, he did stay though. He gave him a chance, and then at the 30, he had to make it a point decision. I think, at least he gave it. He stayed. He's like, I do love this club. I'm going to stay a little longer. And then he's just had enough.
Everton are in a different position where Pickford can't. I don't think he's thinking like, okay, Everton, you're not doing enough to get us. I'm pretty sure with all the issues that they're having on and off the pitch, as a club. But with Kane, I'm sure he looked and he was like spurred, like with Levy. There's a big Levy in, Levy out. A lot of things people are Levy out, and it's we were in a position to progress. We were in a position to make moves, and once that wasn't happening, I think he kind of got that. You know what? If you're not looking out for the betterment of the players and the team itself, then I'm out. And I think that's where kind of the position most fans are in, where I don't want to say everyone's Levy out, but I think he's
gotten better. Let's be honest.
I don't really want to get into this right now, but because it's a packed show. But Levy is a very good businessman. He's gotten us to a place where financially we have a lot of profit, where we actually benefits us, so we can spend a lot. But he just needs to kind of just step away from the football aspect. I don't think the team is his priority anyways. I think the brand name is his priority. But the football itself, I think he's content with where we're at, and it's starting. It's been showing,
Thank you. I caught that.
Well, I mean, come on.
But yeah, at the same time, he has a responsibility to make a profit. So.
Yeah, but when you're making it, you're not spending it. So we see it.
But you got a stadium to pay for. You have a stadium to pay for.
We have a lot of money coming in with all we have deals with the NFL. We have deals with Formula One, with all these concerts.
Oh yeah, they play there like a game or two or something.
So to me, it's like, okay, you're seeing all this happening, and you were patient because you're like, okay, we're building the stadium. Yeah, COVID hit. Okay, we can't spend. We got it. But now it's like you're not seeing the fruits of that labor. We're not spending like the top six are spending when we have the capabilities of doing it. But it's.
I just think, like I said, paying for a stadium, it takes a lot. I mean, look what it took out of Arsenal. So many years where we had to lose our top stars. We couldn't buy anybody, couldn't sell anybody.
Yeah,
so I just think you got to keep that in mind. You're not playing at Nike Stadium. You're not playing at Under Armour Stadium. You're playing at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Say our name.
I think.
Say our name.
Oh, there's no name.
But I get it. But we're at that point where we should be. And trust me,
I just don't know. I think you got time. I think you have to make up for having the players that you had.
Trust me. I think we're one of the most profitable clubs. I don't want to say sports teams, but at least in the Premier League, like the English League, we make a lot of money, and we have the highest tick. I mean, to me, I can't complain about it because I'm here in the States. I don't go to the games, but having the highest match day tickets, season tickets. I think they cut some of the senior discounts that they had. There's a lot of money going into the club, and we're just not.
Is that why you can't afford to go?
Yeah.
You are the oldest here, so.
What? I just turned 25 last week. But I feel like there's a point where you're just like, dude, I get it. You're a good businessman, and your focus is. Like, thank you for doing everything you're doing for this club, but your focus doesn't seem to be. You just seem too complacent or okay with where we're at, and we'll see. We'll see what happens in these next few transfer windows. But that was my spiel.
Okay.
All right. So moving on, second game, or I think that we had a lot of overlapping games here, but we move on to Liverpool at home hosting Arsenal FC 2, Fulham. And we had a 2-2 draw. Liverpool with an early red card after being 1 goal down. They still come back to get a draw at home. Randy, how do you feel about this one? Let me guess. It was a good showing.
Ernie Slot made the right choices.
You know, I can give facts.
Yeah, he made the right choices.
Yeah, he did.
Van Dijk, he's improved.
Well, I can just say this is how you play when you're down one man.
Wow.
Arsenal, take that into account. We still had a better goal ratio compared to Fulham. We had one extra player. We had 2.66 compared to Fulham, who had 119. So that just shows you that even with one man down, we're still going to win. And I even think your Arsenal legend says, when I see players go down to 9, when I see Liverpool play, it looks like they're trying to win the league. And then he even said, a lot of things need to change at Arsenal in order to win the Premier League. That's your Arsenal legend right there. That shows you that even with one man down, we're still trying to win. But I just think that red card, I know everyone has their own. Yeah, there you go. But of course, I think that red card, like I said, it could be gone either way. When I first saw it, I was like, it was a stupid mistake. Yeah, I would give it a red as well. But a lot of people have different opinions. They said that he didn't have control over the ball. But it is what it is. I think it was a red card. And I think just it was a bad showing for Andy Robertson, but it was early in the game, so we were able to bounce back. I like that he didn't make any changes. He let the team figure it out for the first half, which is great to see. He didn't go into panic mode and, bring on an extra defender. He let the game ride out, and it went well. And then the second half, like I said, that's what he does, his magic. He did well with the changes. Diego Jota coming back from an injury to score the tying goal. I just think it was a good showing from Liverpool. We're always there fighting, but I got to give Fulham credit. And Anton Robinson, he was phenomenal. He had, I think, 2 assists in that game. He was trouble, like you said, Arsenal 2.0, but they played well, man, especially playing at home. And I think that's what they're supposed to do when you're up, man. They did a good showing. Liverpool did their poise, but Fulham, they had that first goal was, I can't say anything. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful goal. But Salah with a nice pass into Cody Gakpo, nice diving header. It was beautiful as well. It was a beautiful game. It would have been different if we were able to keep one of our player on the field, but I'm happy at least we get a point out of it. I think anything but a point. If we get 0, I think it's a big loss. But to be one player down and get a point out of it is still something to be happy about. The gap is closing, but at least we still have some distance with a point. But give credit to Fulham. It was a good game. Liverpool's got to wake up,
because this could have.
I know you guys got a lot to say.
No, I think this says. I won't say this says a lot about Fulham because you guys were a man down, but I mean they've drawn against all of our teams, which isn't an easy test, especially Tottenham. But it's good for them, and I'm kind of wondering where their place on the table might be if they keep this up, because they do play very well.
Yeah, I think it was a good point earned by Liverpool considering they were a man down, but at the same time, I mean, you're at home, you're expected to win. I don't think it's like, oh, well, Liverpool were a man down. Well, that was part of your players' consequences, I think. So I don't think you should be like, oh, well, they did good considering they're a man down. Like no, one of your players put you in that position, so you got to deal with the cards that are dealt.
He lost control of the ball. That was his mistake. And to try to make it up, he went for that tackle, which was a bad tackle. And exactly, it was all on him.
Yeah,
it was.
But considering
it was his mistake,
they put it on themselves to basically not lose, and I think that's a good point for Liverpool at home against a good team.
Yeah,
Fulham,
like I said, they at least went on the attack. They weren't trying to settle for a draw. They were trying to go for the win, which is why they had a better goal expectation ratio compared to Fulham, even though they had one person more. And that was part of being at Anfield, being at home, taking advantage of that. But, luckily we were able to get the draw, which is something to still be happy about.
2 draws in a row.
Yeah, slot out, right?
That's fine.
Slot out.
Arrogant.
Eric Ten Hag.
So what? He's the next manager that's going to get fired then, in your opinion?
Yeah, that's the next one. All right, so we went to Newcastle 4-0 against Leicester City. Leicester City just digging themselves into a deeper hole. Newcastle doing what they do best at home.
Of course.
Yeah, good game overall. Good goals.
Yeah,
too.
it was good performance by Newcastle. I wonder if Leicester City has finally come down from that high, and we'll see what they can do moving forward.
Yep.
I mean, but I think this is what Ruud van Nistelrooy needs to experience. He needs to experience a bad loss like this. You know, you learn more from a loss than a win sometimes. So let's see if he can get Leicester back on track after this loss.
Yep. All right. Speaking of trying to learn from your losses, a team that will not learn from their losses, Wolves at home hosting Ipswich. Relegation battle here. And Ipswich come out with a win, 94th minute winner, I believe it was. We did lose a coach here. Wolves is now coachless, managerless.
O'Neill.
We did have a goal by Cunha to tie it up in the 72nd minute, but like I said, 90 plus 4. Ipswich take all 3 points. Wolves lose their coach and they lose their heads. Commotion there at the end with Cunha and at Nori, two of their star players. You know, this is not a good look for either player, considering if this is a sinking ship that they're on. You want to have a good face for any team's
new manager.
For their
but
services.
That own goal was their own mistake, and they just added more misery to it.
Yeah.
But
it's just that built up tension.
Sad for Wolves.
Losing doesn't bring good news, or
especially with last week when he had that little altercation with the staffing coach from another team. This is just you can see that it's getting to them now.
Yeah, because it didn't look like a team deserving to be down there by the way they play, but playing involves defending, and they just don't have it in them to hold their leads, that composure.
And we're talking about, look at home court advantage. They're not. Those are supposed to be the games you're winning. To lose in that fashion at home, then where are you going to get those points if you can get them at home?
So do you guys think they've been playing well because of the players that they have, or because of was that a coaching thing? Because do you think that the managers deserve to be sacked at this point due to the results compared to how they're playing?
Yeah, I think the talent they have on that team was kind of carrying them further than they were playing the way they were because of it. I think some new coaching. I think they'll fare better with a new manager. I don't know. It's hard to say.
From my point of view,
they were playing well.
I think it's everyone can say about the manager. Yes, the manager tells you what to do, but it's the players to go out and do that game plan. So it can. I would think it would fall on the players, but look at what Ruud van Nistelrooy did with Leicester, reinvigoration, even at Man U. I think Wolves might have just gotten tired of O'Neill. And I think a new coach was somewhat refreshed them. It's like, all right, new start. Let's, go all out again.
At the same time, like to your point, I do think it is up to the players to play, make the plan work that the coach has laid out for you. But at the same time, like at a certain point, the coach has to realize what's not being done right, and essentially put a stop to all these leaky defense that they have. Right?
And it's easier to replace one person than a couple players. And I think O'Neill wasn't one of the highest earning coaches as well. So it's I think that's an easier thing to fix.
I think also
now they have time to go into the window.
Yeah, too. I think also if you're having these results, players start getting frustrated and you start losing the locker room. And they're gonna not believe in your tactics. They're gonna start questioning you. And if you're not all in on the manager, then you're going to start seeing results where you're blowing leads. And I mean, they just lost 4-0 to Everton, and it's Everton's not that great of a team. So if you draw with them, you're kind of bad yourself. But yeah, I think a new manager was needed, especially now they're sitting better, 19th on the table. You need every single game, and if you're not beating Ipswich, the team that's above you, how are you? They're not dropping points because you're losing to them. So guess what? They're going to stay ahead of you. So now you're kind of putting the ball in someone else.
Direct competition.
Exactly. You beat them. Guess what? They drop points, and you gain your points. And now you would have sat in the 18th position. Ipswich would have came down. and now you're kind of in that battle with
And that's
Leicester
a little
City.
momentum that you got going
Right.
for you.
But if you can't beat the teams that are directly above you and you're only beating the teams below you, you're not going to get anywhere on the table. So,
Yeah. And that only team is Southampton, which anybody can basically beat.
no, not everybody.
If that's the only way to get.
Not everybody, because
you get
there's some people that almost drew to them. All right. And there's some people that blew them out.
Okay, yeah, but whatever. But that's the only one team that is beneath you. Then it's not looking good for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are those 6-point games that, as we call them, it's how you get directly above a rival. And I would say that this is another 6-point game here, a top 6 battle. Nottingham Forest at home hosting Aston Villa, and Nottingham Forest take all 3 points with another late winner, 90+3 by Anthony Elanga. Unfortunately, John Duran's goal wasn't enough, and the best keeper in the world couldn't put them on the winning side.
Best keeper.
I mean,
best keeper in the world.
He's good. Don't get me wrong. He's good.
But
to be the best, I don't know. I think he gets a little.
I think there's people above
It's
him.
like you're still riding that World Cup
but I mean,
wave, like.
That's exactly.
And Copa America.
And like Copa America, but
but still,
he's good. He did really have that really good save.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't want to be a hater, but he's what? How many goals against? 25. The goal differential isn't all that great.
For one of the best. Yeah,
he's one of the keepers that hasn't missed any Premier League games.
Brentford, West Ham, Leicester City. Wolves 40. Maybe that's.
But I mean, after that save that he had,
yeah.
But after that save he had, you thought it was going to be like nothing's getting past them.
All right.
Aston Villa was going to win it, but you got to give credit to the boys in red. They pulled it out, man. Beautiful goal.
Yep.
By the Serbian, and then one by Elanga to win it in stoppage time.
And that's why we were talking about, Alan, all these teams above Tottenham. You got to expect that every single one does worse than you.
Hey, listen.
In order to get above them.
And all you need are 2 teams, and those 2 teams are doing it.
Fulham got 1 point.
I mean, as you can see.
Aston Villa, no points.
Against the league leaders.
It's okay.
Okay.
So that just allows us.
Right, Bob Marley.
That just allows us. We're a few points behind. We're trust.
Okay, we'll trust.
Oh my God! Oh, come on.
All right, so moving on to Sunday, Battle of the Birds.
Guess who dropped points too again?
Brighton at home hosting Crystal Palace, and Crystal Palace take it 3-1. Yeah, this is I guess it is a little bit of a surprise. Brighton haven't been the team that they were last season, but they can still hold their own. But Crystal Palace did do a number on them.
They played very well.
It was a good win by Crystal Palace. Yeah,
Sarr played his 2 goals.
And this is the Crystal Palace that I'm expecting to put up these type of games against your top teams.
Yeah,
I didn't expect Brighton to lose this game, honestly, but it's a good showing for Crystal Palace. They're showing that they're gonna get out of the relegation zone.
They did a good
by
job
winning away.
Then we had the highlight week of the game.
Wait, what?
You mean highlight game of the week?
What is it?
You said the highlight week of the game.
Highlight week of the game.
Yeah, it's been a whole
highlight game.
Been a long week. It's the highlight game of the week. Manchester City at the Etihad.
That's the oldest book in the joke.
So they were hosting Manchester United, and Manchester United surprisingly take all 3 points at the Etihad, 2-1 with goals from penalty from Bruno Fernandes and Ahmad, who deserves all the credit. He should have taken that penalty. I feel like he deserves to take that penalty. But did you guys get to watch this game?
I watched some of it, mostly the highlights or the extended highlights. Are you guys surprised?
I'm not surprised, but I did watch this game, and this was such a snooze fest. It was so boring. It was so disorganized from both sides. Manchester City get a goal on a corner, which is just like a lucky deflected cross in, and Guardiola gets.
So let me ask you this:
yeah,
since you watched it,
did
Man United win the game or did Man City lose the game?
I think Man City lost it. The penalty was the dumbest tackle. Like, it was just unnecessary. Ahmad did have a great game. I think he had a good game. I think he attacked fearlessly. He went at the defenders. He showed his speed, and it was just a bad tackle in the box. A clear penalty, like clear as day.
Who made the tackle?
It was one of their wingers. I can't remember his name.
Okay, because I thought if it was going to be Walker, I'm just saying it's not a good.
No, it was
Walker.
one of their wingers. Someone who I haven't seen play much. I can't remember their name. Spanish guy, but totally the worst tackle ever. Like totally, and Manchester United didn't deserve it. I think up to that point they had one good chance that Bruno Fernandes missed. He was 1-on-1 with the keeper, beautiful through ball, and it was like probably the highlight of the game, and he missed it. Then they get this penalty.
I thought it was Nunes. Wasn't he the one that tackled?
Oh, maybe it was. Yeah, it was. Ooh. Yes, it was.
Oh, ex-Wolves.
Yeah, and then Ahmad just like goes through the defense and then gets a chip over the keeper. Hits the ball like it wasn't even like a hard shot, and it just skips through all their defenders, just goes right in. It was just like such a terrible display by City. I think obviously Manchester United deserved to win it because they took their chances, but there wasn't, aside from those 3 goals, there wasn't much else in it. I was actually disappointed. I expected a better game, but I think the shock factor. I thought the shock factor that Manchester United took all 3 points.
But now all the fans are gonna be like, "Oh, we're back!" The typical "we're back," but it wasn't a good showing. Mm-hmm. How can you be back after a showing like that? Yes, you got one over your rivals, but the next game you're probably gonna lose. But I mean, I do give credit to
what their next
Ruben,
game is?
Liverpool?
No, we played midweek. Sorry, I didn't want. We played midweek with. Sorry, don't let me to interrupt.
Oh no, but I was just thinking. I think Ruben has. I can see that his influence by already benching Garnacho and Rashford to start. That's a ballsy move right there, and it panned out somewhat. But you're seeing that he's trying to put his authority into it.
Yep, I think he's making his team right
completely.
He did mention that he says he notices everything, players' attitude, their behavior, the way they dress, what they eat, and I think
you gotta check my closet. He might be watching me.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just that's kind of scary, but but that's what he wants. I think he's trying to build that Fergie, environment back that in the clubhouse. That you have to have a good, strong clubhouse. Have these rules. They want everyone to be strict and disciplined, and then that'll carry into the game. Like they got Man U, it has higher standards, so I think he's trying to at least set these rules and these things back into it.
It worked at Tottenham. Remember, Conte said no ketchup.
Yeah, no ketchup. Eric did the same thing.
Only mustard.
Yeah, no ketchup, no mayo. It's funny that you said it was going to be a bad look for Kyle Walker if he was the one that did the penalty, but he put up quite a performance for that when him and
for the Oscar the Oscar nomination
when they butted heads and then he's just
that was embarrassing.
It's not.
I hope his wives weren't watching.
Yeah, exactly. But
just the mistress.
He's used to embarrassment. He's used to that, so there ain't nothing new to him.
Yeah,
he's got a one up from his last embarrassment.
Do City turn it around? Do they get back and forth and back in form in January? Do they make any signings?
I don't think legally. I think they're trying not to. I think that's how we mentioned before. I think you mentioned it like in the summer. They didn't make much signings, and it's unusual, right? Especially with an aging squad.
Yep.
So it's like why?
The one thing I want to say is, coaches find a way to win with the players they have, either going to the academy or something like that, as we've seen with other coaches when players get down.
You're only saying that because you're winning.
Well, because I'm just trying to say that when we had our two center backs, whatever, we went with Nat Phillips and Rai Williams. When Virgil van Dijk was out, coaches find ways. Like you with Arsenal, they switch up the formation. They put in different players. Trossard in for Odegaard. He tries to fix it from within.
So you think this is Pep's job to do. It's not the players.
It's Pep's jobs to do this with what he has. I don't think the transfer window is going to help.
We can't say what he
Okay.
has.
I see
Like
what you're saying.
if he doesn't have a freaking, his squad has depth. You have John Stones, Jack Grealish. You have all
Yes,
these
he
players
has
on the
depth.
bench. Like I don't feel it's all him. You know, it's if he's might be feeling the effects of what he did or didn't do during the off season. I don't feel sorry for him. You know, he might want to play all this victim, but it's on him. I don't care about a
It's on
sob
him,
story.
exactly.
City's where they deserve to be, and if they're a hard team to gauge right now because of what they've done. You think that they're going to turn it around, but if this was any other manager, we would have counted them out. You know, we would have told them, no, you guys are going to end mid-table. But since it's City, since it's Pep, you know, we really can't. But you can't tell me that the squad is not built to win. You know, no, I'm sorry, I'm not. You know, he wants to play play the victim on TV in his interviews, and people feel sorry for him. Hey, I don't care.
Everybody's throwing a party right now. They're happy this ship is sinking as is, but it just shows you how important one person is. One person shouldn't be too important for a team. You should have a nice cohesion, everyone should be able to pick up the slack, like Alan said before. They have the money. They can buy anyone they want. But I think
can they? Well, I guess we'll find out.
I mean, back then, but now because they have all these charges, they're trying to keep it lowball. They're trying to be quiet with it. But I mean, I'm happy. The timing is perfect for this. You know, the charges. Rodri's out. They're playing horrible.
Well, Rodri might not be out much longer. I heard he was running already in the training.
Yeah, he's running to the next team. He's running to hand in his transfer papers. He don't want to be a part of this.
If one player can make that big of a difference, then you got bigger issues.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Pep has won.
It'll be one thing if like, oh, you know, we lost a position we have zero depth in, and now we're playing an academy player. Okay, you know, I get it, but you got depth in that squad.
But now everybody's talking about his sales. They let what was his name, Julian Alvarez, leave, and you never did anything to replace him. They let all these what's called Cole Palmer, I believe, right? He was in
Yeah,
because they were winning without them.
Yeah. But still, he's a young guy. You could have kept him for another year. You know, make a little promises or something.
Well, you had
because you have an aging
Foden
midfield
and Lewis. So
yeah,
I think he was the one player that they were willing to let go because they couldn't let go of Foden. But
now Foden is looking like what? And then Jack Grealish. Oh, you spent all this money on.
Cole Palmer's the only one that they could really cash in on. I don't think they would have gotten much money for Lewis going anywhere, Rico Lewis. But for Cole Palmer, they got what, like 65 million or something like that.
Yeah.
So
and they got Savinho, who hasn't been able to do anything at all. So, but it's just, but still, like Alan said, you have the money, you had the depth. If you can't fill that Band-Aid, then that's the coach's job. That falls on him.
True. Well, we'll see if they turn it around. Manchester United will take all 3 points with no shame. All right, moving on to
Let them speak.
Chelsea at home hosting Brentford. This was the London derby, and Chelsea take it 2-1. And not the most convincing win, but they do win it in the end. 3 points that puts them closer at the top of the league, chasing Liverpool. Chelsea's still in their winning ways. I don't believe that they'll drop the ball anytime soon, but we'll see if they suffer any injuries.
I think they would. I mean, if they suffer injuries, they got
injuries or drug-related suspensions.
That's very true.
But then again, they have two more teams waiting in the back with all the players they bought. One of them can fill in the spot. Go ahead.
I was going to say, imagine taking performing-enhancing drugs to sit on the bench, improve your bench stats.
Yeah. You could sit strong.
So is Nicholas Jackson looking like a good signing?
I think that the system's finally clicking, so I think he's benefiting from it. I still don't think he's like the best striker in the league. Like I would take Mbeumo over Jackson at Arsenal. Like obviously Arsenal are looking like they need a striker. It's been obvious
but out of all they have, yeah. But I agree. I think Nicholas Jackson might be more like on the bench, like your B option. Wouldn't have him as a starter, especially on a Chelsea team. He could probably be a starter like for a mid-table team, but I don't see him being the star striker that they need at Chelsea.
I think
with a little bit more time, maybe.
I think, I mean, I gotta give him credit. I think he's been doing great, but like I said, I think he's been benefiting from the overall team performance, because I think you put Isaac in that team and he probably scores. He's got at least 2 more goals than Jackson has now. I think if you put, I don't know, Jota up there, then he would have maybe at about the same goal. So I think he's just benefiting off of Chelsea's overall team performances. I got
benefiting off of Cole Palmer because all eyes are on him, so that frees up everyone else.
When Chelsea wasn't clicking, he wasn't putting him in the back of the net, and he was getting one-on-one chances, and you know what I mean.
True.
So you also got to count that against them, but a little bit. So I think he still have something to prove. I mean,
but like you said, any player in the right system, you know, that's good for them. They'll benefit from it.
I think I don't want to give Chelsea any points, any tips or advice, but Sanchez, that goalkeeper, he looks rough. I'm kind of glad.
Yeah.
I don't think he's the one for them.
Another Brighton player.
Yep.
Yeah, but after when you used to have Peter Cech, I did think the standards are high. But
Pickford?
Yeah, I just don't think. No, Petr Cech.
No, I'm saying Pickford going Chelsea.
Oh,
Chelsea.
No, I don't think. I don't think
English
so.
keeper. They be looking to keep it English. No.
But they, like I said, sometimes he does these howlers. But I think they want someone who's going to be more established than Pickford.
Right.
But yeah, I just don't see Sanchez being their main star. But again, they also have like 6 more goalkeepers in the back. They have some young ones that can probably put in, hopefully let them work their way up, like a David De Gea, who was a young guy and, you know, he made his mark. But I guess they want to go with someone who's more established.
All right, moving on to Southampton at home, hosting Tottenham Hotspurs. 5 goals were raining on Southampton. The first 2 goals, and then the first 15 minutes?
And then nothing in the second half.
We had 3 in the first 15.
3 in the first 15. All 5 in the first half, and after that, they dried up a little bit. They wised up to you.
No. Yeah,
you didn't save any goals for this next game coming this weekend, huh?
Surprisingly, there was a change in the system, and thank God. I know a lot of people want to say, "Oh, it's just Southampton." Southampton is a bad team. I think they might break the record for having the lowest amount of points in the Premier League season. It's bad. This was the performance we needed. It's that confidence builder that we needed. You know, scoring 5 goals, our press being effective, you know, recycling that ball in the midfield. We having Archie Gray playing center back. You know, we have an 18-year-old who's never played that position. And I guess it's against Southampton, but you're still a Premier League side, you know. You're still doing it in this league. Excuse me. You know, Lucas Bergwall playing midfield, another 18-year-old. We needed this because we were able to play some players, you know, kind of that second half. We you know, at one time we had 4. I think that was the Premier League record of having 4 under 19-year-olds playing on the same side. It just gave our players some of that rest that we needed, especially, you know, we're not lucky like Liverpool and we didn't, you know, miss a match. We're playing a lot of football, so we need this, you know, we need
maybe you guys should have depth boost as well. That would help.
Oh, we do. We're going through an injury crisis.
Yeah, you're going through. You're going all the way to preschool to get your kids, your players.
But I'm glad. You know, it's Southampton, and we kind of use this as a game to, you know, I don't want to say relax, but tone it down, catch our breath, get that, you know, morale booster that we need moving forward for this. You know, these next few weeks are going to be pretty intense as well. Our shot placement was great. James Maddison, he looks super confident out there. Solanke as well, like Jet Spence, you know, seeing what he can do on that right side so that Pedro Porro doesn't have to play every game. You know, the best right back in the league doesn't have to play every game.
He did have to come on, right?
He did.
Udogie came off injured?
Udogie came off and Spence both came off. But I think it was quoted as being not serious, just precautionary, you know, to avoid, you know, further adding,
Aggravating it,
making
yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like a
our injury list. Yeah,
looked like a quad
So, I mean, we were
thing.
sitting 5-0. Why not?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
And
yeah, that's
it's-
fine.
And has we all see him as a stubborn dude that just wants to go. So seeing him, it was a little like, man, we could have gotten 10 out of this. 6, 7, at least another. We wanted to see another goal, but at the same time,
Control the game.
seeing that adjustment, yeah, player management, right? There's no need. Southampton, they were leaving, I think, by the 20th minute.
Even the blind guy. Did you guys see that blind guy leaving?
Oh,
He's like, I've seen
yeah.
enough.
Yes.
I've heard enough.
Good thing I'm blind. This is what I want to watch.
Even their manager left. He actually left, I think, before the 45th minute, and then James
he got his
Madison
walking
put in
papers by
another
then.
one. He probably got. But like, it's not something that we're jumping in joy, like, oh yes, we won. But it's something that to be proud of, and something we needed this. After drawing to Rangers in the Europa, we needed a victory. We needed a confidence boost. Pep Sar was another one.
A nice goal. Yeah.
Real nice. But he had such a bad game against Chelsea that you look at him, you're like, dude, how bad mental mistakes. And then you see him this game, and it's like 180.
Well, Southampton.
So hopefully that. Yeah, right.
But then
I'm
again,
saying,
that's Chelsea against Southampton.
sometimes-
You can't compare.
sometimes you need that. Like, okay, I can do this. And it sucks. Not sucks for Southampton because we kind of like use them as I don't want to say a practice because
like a rebound.
Yeah, like a
warm-up game,
rebound.
basically.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, we can do this. But
So is your faith restored? Because last episode you were like, I'm going to be an Arsenal fan and I'm tired of this.
I never.
Clip it.
not
You
me.
clipped it, right, Randy?
No,
No, because he never said
it
such
doesn't
things.
exactly.
You're like, Pat, show me where to buy the Crystal Palace packages.
Yeah, because he knows where to buy every membership. He's
He-
bought every one.
He got a discount for referring a friend.
Yes.
Let me sign you up. I get $5.
For me, I wouldn't be satisfied with this win. I would have preferred the win against Chelsea. I mean, this is what I think you're expected to get. But like you said, you gained your confidence. I don't.
Yeah.
I see like that's like like part of my French, but like a shitty way of getting your confidence against a team that.
Team that you almost drew to?
Ooh. Well, what else are they
almost
going to
beat you?
do? Take it easy on Southampton
Then-
because they know they're just going to win? Like,
Right? You mean the
I
team
mean-
that almost beat you if it wasn't for a bad penalty?
Oh.
It doesn't matter. Did we lose to a team did we give two teams their first wins of the season?
Oh,
It
clip
doesn't matter. You
Clip
gave,
it.
you gave
doesn't. Now
Forrester
it
confidence.
doesn't matter.
Clip
But
it.
no, just
Hey, it won't matter for next match. Let's see what's going to
Clip
happen.
it.
okay, that's
Hey.
fine. That's fine.
Rivals week.
Get
Rivals
fired up.
week.
Get fired up.
No, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not jumping up and down saying like, yeah, we're back. It's not only what we needed to come out and do. We did that plus more, and hopefully we can ride that wave into
Next game?
United on Thursday, and Liverpool on Sunday. So
All right, cool. Well, we'll get it. We'll see how this fares. But just to finish it up here, the last game of the match week was Bournemouth at home hosting West Ham United, and it ends in a 1-1 draw. And that's the end of the match week 16. So you guys,
what a penalty kick though! What a free kick!
That was.
You gotta. I don't know, but I think just West Ham are just finding a way to save their manager
Oh yeah.
last minute or whatever. But at least
He's staying out of
discussing
spite.
with Alan before. Yeah, like we were discussing with Alan. He's just. I think right now West Ham is in a comfortable position because they're a little bit out of the relegation zone. That I feel like the coach might be a little more safer now. They're getting points, and that helps. I think they would have fired him if they would have still been in that relegation danger zone, but I think for now he's can afford a couple losses. But as long as he keeps getting wins, he should be fine.
I swear he listens to this and he's like, "No, I'm not."
Yes, at least I wasn't the first one, but I don't want to be the fourth one.
If Bournemouth would have won, they would have. I think they would have passed City. Oh no, they would have been tied. I think they might have.
Okay, almost though. I mean, that's
goal differential,
City,
depending on the goal differential. Yeah.
So top to bottom right now, we have Liverpool still at first, Chelsea in second place, Arsenal in third, then Nottingham Forest and City fifth. Bournemouth 6, Aston Villa, Fulham, Brighton, and then Tottenham in 10th. We're just going to skip right down to the bottom in the relegation. So we still have Ipswich Town at 18th, Wolves at 19th, and Southampton in 20th place. So now we move on to next weekend's games. This is match week 17. Just to save some time for our combined 11 in highlight game of the week, I'm just going to quickly go down the games here. You guys tell me who you think is going to take the win. Sound good?
Listo.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, we'll start Saturday, bright and early, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time, 5:30 a.m. Mountain Time. Aston Villa at home just lost to Nottingham Forest, and they'll be taking on Manchester City, who just took a loss to Manchester United. So Aston Villa against City, who takes the win?
That's
City.
a good one, man. I think Villa.
I think Villa. I'm going to go Villa as well. Pew, pew.
Okay.
All right, then we got another good game. Brentford at home hosting Nottingham Forest, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Mountain Time.
Brentford.
Give me Brentford.
All right.
With Wisa and Bueno. They're going to get it.
All right, 2-0?
I can see 2-0.
All right, then we got same time, Ipswich at home hosting Newcastle. Both coming up from a win.
Newcastle.
Tie. Draw.
Draw. I'm going to go draw too. Ipswich, I think, are on the high. They're going to want to ride it out.
And they play well at home.
Very true. And I think,
Ed Sheeran is there.
yeah, he'll be there.
Give them maybe serenade them to a win.
Yep. West Ham at home hosting Brighton.
Brighton.
West Ham.
Alan's wishful thinking here. And then we got Crystal Palace at home hosting Arsenal, 12:30.
Crystal Palace.
Oh wow! Okay. That's
a hard one that's a hard one for you, Pat. Which one are you choosing? Which membership do you renew?
Listen, we're gonna do what Tottenham couldn't do. We're gonna go pick up Eze. We're not gonna let him go. We're gonna give.
Let's see.
I'll hold my prediction to the end, but
I'll say draw. This is gonna be a draw.
Yeah, you know what?
Draw.
I agree.
no
I think it's
lessons
gonna
learned
be a
for
draw.
Arsenal, huh?
No.
Okay. We typically win at Palace, so I think we'll keep it up. All right, then we move on to Sunday. Everton at home hosting Chelsea. Blues against Blues. Who takes this one?
Chelsea.
Yeah, I think Chelsea.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Same time, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Mountain Time. Sunday, Fulham at home hosting Southampton. Does Southampton get their second win of the season?
They might be riding a high after beating Liverpool midweek. So, no, Fulham's still going to beat them.
Yeah, Fulham.
All right. Same time, Leicester, the Foxes against the Wolves hosting Wolverhampton Wanderers. The Wolves turn it around. Headless chicken running around. Wolves, no manager at the moment. Leicester City with newly appointed Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Damn, man.
A good one. Leicester, maybe.
I think Leicester, yeah.
Wolves for me.
Okay.
I'm sticking with my boys in yellow.
Oh.
Remember, they got the Norris out, so.
All right.
Yeah, but you still got Cunha, and he's been showing up these past games.
He took someone's classes.
All right, same time, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Mountain Time. We got Manchester United at home coming off the win from the Manchester Derby, hosting Bournemouth. We're looking to stay top of the Premier League table.
Another draw. I want Bournemouth. I think Bournemouth will take it, but I need them to draw so that the table stays
In your
level
favor.
after we beat Liverpool. Yeah.
I say Bournemouth is going to win.
So if Spurs don't win their next game and Manchester United beat Bournemouth, how do you feel about
Yeah,
that,
you
Alan?
hop
Because
over.
Manchester United will be above you, but you get a chance to catch up on Bournemouth. So you want that draw, desperate. That's the best case scenario.
Yeah, best case scenario. I mean, we still have a lot of season left, so
Okay.
It's like that meme of like the guy from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia with all these clipboards on the wall. He's like, I need all these things. This is what Alan is right now. He needs all these games to lose, draw, and everything. Let's see if it actually shows up.
All right, then we move on to highlight game of the week. I am looking forward to this one. I'm going to be sitting back, enjoying this one. No pressure. Spurs at home. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time, 9:30 a.m. Mountain Time. hosting Liverpool, top of the league. Liverpool coming off of 2 consecutive draws. All right. So this is going to be an exciting one. Let's hold predictions till the end. And let's move on to our combined 11. And I will moderate this one for you. If you guys can't decide, then we will put an Arsenal player there. So I'm going to need you guys to both come to a conclusion on each spot. So we're going to do our typical 4-3-3 formation with a goalkeeper, 4 defenders, 3 midfielders, and then 3 attackers. And then we'll come to a conclusion on which position from each team of available players, so no suspended or no confirmed injured players are eligible for this one. And if we can't come to a conclusion, I will be the tiebreaker. Fair?
All right.
Yeah,
Fair.
that's fine.
All right. So first in goalkeeper, we have Raya. No? Oh, okay. All right, so
Get him out of
I
here. Get
think
him in the ugly beard out of here.
I think Vicario is still crying, so I think it's going to be Allison or Forster for this one, right?
Well, I want to
Big
throw
hands,
in a
Fraser
curveball.
Forster.
I want to throw in a curveball. I'm going with Kelleher.
Oh, is Allison injured or?
No, it's just he just came back to be just thinking about how Alan set up his parameters, which I'm going to follow by because I agree as well. Allison just came back. He had 1 or 2 games back. Kelleher is the reason why Liverpool are where we at. He had more games. He had clean sheets. He played well. So I'm just sticking with Kelleher. Regardless, it's going to be Kelleher or Allison over Forster.
Oh,
Just
I
based
would
on
have
form.
Allison. I would have Allison, Forster, Kelleher.
in that order.
But right now,
Big hands, Fraser.
like I
He's
said,
had some nice.
But how many games has he played? And what were the results of those games?
Most of the games I'm watching were European. He's actually had really good games, but
No, yeah,
Kelleher,
but I just think
I would put Allison. I mean, you guys were at a better place with him in there than with Kelleher.
I mean, he's been injured.
Kelleher's the reason. But Kelleher's the reason we're still in first place because Allison was out.
You don't think you would? Yeah, but I'm pretty sure you guys would still. So that change would have mattered.
But we're going by you. But like you said, your parameters is by how informed they are.
That's true. We got to count the season,
saying.
And Allison's been out.
That is why I'm going with this season.
But who do you think
Kelleher
starts? Who do you think starts, Randy?
Honestly, it would be Allison.
So you think Allison starts?
He started. He just came back. Kelleher was, I think, after the Newcastle game. Allison came back, and I think that was it. I mean, for him, I think Kelleher's going to be playing the cup games, but I just basing off this season and the fact that we even with our tough run of games with our second back goalkeeper, we flew with colors. You know, Allison could have still done it, but since he was out, I just go with Kelleher. But even regardless, I think it would be Kelleher or Allison over Forster at this point. That's just my honest opinion.
I think you can argue Forster and Kelleher, but so that's why my vote's for Allison.
I think
we'll go with Allison then.
I think Allison. Yeah, I think Allison starts, and I think he's obviously better than Forster. So I'm gonna go with Allison just to keep it
debatable.
Yeah.
I mean, Messi did say Forster was the hardest keeper he's ever played against. But hey,
are you sure?
I guess that doesn't count. I guess that doesn't count for anything.
I mean,
that's disrespectful. So Messi doesn't know anything about.
You were disrespectful to Forster before. You were ripping him apart in the first game.
I didn't rip him. I was hesitant, but he's actually played really good. Not to make this team, this combined 11, but he's played decent.
I just think that Forster, I think he is a good keeper, but he's number 2 to Vicario, and then Vicario doesn't get over, I think, Kelleher or Allison. So that's why I just think.
Oh yeah, he gets over Kelleher.
I don't know, man.
No, because
I don't know.
Like I honestly said it's like neck and neck, but
yeah, I say neck and neck.
Kelleher, but I think Kelleher has. I mean, based on this season, has faced tougher competition, Real Madrid, Milan, compared to Spurs, and he's done well. So I think that gives him the edge in experience-wise and the position
I think it also
where
has
Liverpool
to do with
are.
that back line.
Yeah, that as well. But that's why regardless, we'll go with Allison. But that's why I would pick Kelleher over Forster, anyways. But yeah, we'll go Allison.
All right, now we're moving on to left back.
He's had a little bit of a drop off, but I still go with my boy Udogie. Destiny Udogie.
I just think Robertson he's having good and bad
Suspended?
games,
He's
but
suspended.
but I'm just giving my reason why I wouldn't
Okay.
include him anyways. But yeah, I would go with I was gonna go with Udagi
All right.
because we don't have any. Our Timicus is injured. Robertson is having he's mixed right now, but he's also suspended. But yeah, with the Udagi.
All right. We'll go Udoji right back. And no Real Madrid players, please.
Oh, sorry, Carvalho's
all
not
right, so
injured
Spence.
anyways. It's Trent Alexander-Arnold. Trent Alexander-Arnold.
TAA?
No, you said his name wrong.
TTA. Trent.
Disqualified.
Yeah, fuck. TTA. Fuck it.
TAA?
TTA. Yeah. What am I thinking?
You go with TA and I go with PP.
Pero?
Pero.
Oh, this is a tough one.
Pedro Paro.
So Pedro Poro, and you go for Trent.
Pedro Paro came on as a sub last game.
Yeah, that was game management. That was nothing about benching anyone for performance.
Trent makes a difference. He's gotten better defensively. He scores goals. He assists. I mean, he hasn't scored goals yet, but he assists. He's a difference
Pedro
maker
Paro
to
has
the
scored
team.
goals.
That is
Pedro Paro
true.
has assisted.
I'm going to have to do some research here.
I think it's
Trent Alexander-Arnold
it's-
has 61 assists for defender.
But overall,
most
we're going
defenders
season, though.
have.
Season.
Yeah, but I'm just saying he's still putting up numbers, and that's what you get from him. His defensive has gotten better.
I think it's a little unfair for Pedro because I feel like his performance he's played so much at that position that we have no because of injuries. He's played a lot, so I feel like you kind of get fatigued, and I feel like his numbers dropped off a little bit. But I still think there's an argument for him. I think it's maybe it's just the way we use him that he seems more important to me than Trent does to. But
You know what?
I don't know. It's hard to say.
So this season so far, Pedro Poro has 2 goals, Trent has 0, and assists they're tied on 2 each.
Woohoo.
Dribbles,
How about-
progressive dribbles. He got Pedro Poro, which I gotta say, Tottenham and Liverpool play similar style plays. I mean, they control games. Successive dribbles that Poro wins it. Assists per 98. Well, they got 2 and 2, so.
But then again, Trent Alexander, he doesn't need to do progressive dribbles. He can just do that pinpoint cross pass from across the field.
But we have the same amount of assists.
Yeah, that's fine. Arnold was injured for a bit. It's fine. But I just think Arnold makes a difference This is why Real Madrid want him. Do they want Poro? They want Pero?
They do.
Ground, and then Pedro Poro has more ground duels won, so that's the defensive aspect. You know what? I'm just gonna. This was a toss up for me, but I think I'm just gonna have to go with Poro. He's also played more minutes, injury free. Trent,
People are not gonna like this.
That's fine.
I gotta go Poro. I think.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me spell this.
I think
Poro.
a lot of it does, and it sounds weird because it almost sounds like I'm trying to defend Randy's but I feel like we have relied heavily on Pedro the way our season has going and the way our injuries have going. But I think he's also stepped up to it and provided what we need from him. So that's my argument for Pedro. From Paro, Pedro, Pero,
Pero.
El Español. But this is a tough one. I think this is one of
It's a toss-up. But so far this
Depends
season,
with preference.
all right. So now we're gonna go. Let's do center back pairings.
Well, yeah,
all I
no
have
center
is
backs.
Archie Gray and Dragis. No, I have Archie Gray, who is a midfielder, an 18-year-old midfielder. Dragusin, the man bun
Dragoshin.
himself.
You're sticking with that?
You
have no choice.
Joe Gomez? Is Joe Gomez playing or
Konate?
Yeah, he's playing.
Konate?
Konate is out. He's injured for a bit. That's why it's Joe Gomez and Virgil van Dijk pairing at the moment. And we also got Kwanse, who's playing as well. But yeah, just because of the way it is right now, Virgil van Dijk and Joe Gomez.
So Van Dyke for sure.
Yeah,
I don't think Archie Gray
of course.
or Dragusin.
So it'd
Not
be
yet.
Gomez.
I think I'm gonna have. Who are you throwing in there, Alan? Because Romero,
He's
unfortunately,
throwing anyone, right? He's throwing anyone at the moment because they don't got no back.
Yeah, right.
You guys-
They don't got no center backs.
and that's all on Angie. He rushed your 2
Yeah.
starting center
Yeah.
backs, and they got rushed.
There's
on.
actually he actually initiated another investigation into our medical team to see what the heck is going on.
Ooh.
The only ones I could see kind of getting into would be Dragusin and Joe Gomez, but Dragusin has had some pretty awful games. He's gotten better, but he's gotten games where he kind of looks lost in our system. So I'll go with Joe Gomez.
All right. Now we'll move on to midfield, and we're gonna do just to give you things. We're gonna do defensive midfielder and box to box, a number 8, and an attacking midfielder. So let's start with our defensive midfielders.
I'd go with Ryan Gravenberch.
Okay.
And I go with he came off a really good performance. So all I have is Pop Metasar. We'll do Gravenberch.
Okay.
That's easy.
So
he has been playing well.
It's not easy, no.
Yeah. You're lucky Pat can't. You're lucky Pat can't spell his last name, or else you know the stats.
Don't watch me.
You know what? Put Sar in.
Sorry. Okay, let's look at player versus player. So
I just want to make sure that.
And how do you spell it, Randy? Graben?
Starboy.
Graven.
All right.
B.
There you go, Ryan.
Let's compare these two. So we're comparing Papi Matasar, PMS. Oh, that's a terrible.
Yes, I'm like this is still a football podcast.
All right, so they have 15 and 16 games played each. Sar having just about a game in minutes less. Sar has 1 goal, 2 assists. Gravenberch has 0 goals, 1 assist, but they're defensive midfielders. So if we look at their defensive stats,
it's kind of hard when you look at certain systems where you have a lot of these positions that are floating positions.
Yeah. Ground duels
things can get a little muddy, but
ground duels 51 for Gravenberch, 40 for Sar. I'm just gonna have to give it, I think, to Gravenberch. I think he's better.
Yeah. No, I was just saying, look him up because I want to,
he's not far off.
Is actually,
he's not far off.
He's actually a good player. He's actually been a really good signing that we thought we had picked him up from Mets. They were like, oh, who is this kid? But I think he has a super bright future ahead of him.
But like that's what everyone at Spurs basically is potential for a bright future. But that is if it's going to be for Ange or not.
All right, now we'll move on to box-to-box midfielder. Who are you guys throwing in here?
I did.
All right, I guess it's Rice then, since you guys are not saying.
I'm going to pick Soboslai. I think
I did Madison.
He's more of a Tesla.
I don't want to put Madison. I think he.
But that's only because of where I did my attacking. I did Kulu more of the attacking.
So who's your 8 that you're throwing in here?
Madison.
As an 8, and Randy.
I picked Dominic Soboslai. I just think Soboslai, because we're doing like box to box, that he is doing that more often. Now he's running, he's doing the groundwork, he's going back to play tackles and everything like that. Compared to Madison, which I don't. That would be Madison. I mean, that would probably Sar.
He kind of does play, but I'm telling you, that's why we have. I mean, unless Bassoon was on the field, but or Bentancur, they kind of play that defensive, or even Bentancur plays that box to box. But it's like I said, these positions are somewhat floating.
It's SV, Pat. SVOB.
Like this?
Oh, SZ. Sorry, SZ.
All right. So, Madison. Surprisingly, ground duels won with 29 for Madison. 18 for Soboslai. So if you're gonna put him as an 8, he's gotta do both. Offensive, Madison's got 6 goals.
Yeah, because he's defensive.
Or 7 goals, and then Soboslai is 1. And then if we go defensive, ground duels 1. There, Madison still has more, 17-12 by Soboslai.
Yeah, I just don't see McAllister as being that box to box. I think he is more. I think that's.
It's funny because I think moving forward, like I said, these midfields, the way managers are playing, it's becoming very like muddy.
Yeah,
on these positions.
The only thing I know is Dominic Ryan Gravenberch is the only one that's basically defensive midfielder. You got Dominic, you got Curtis Jones, you got McAllister. They're basically free to do whatever they want as long as you have that coverage, right? Ryan Gravenberch, but that's why it's like hard to do that.
How consistent do you think
they've played about the same minutes and maybe one game less for Yeah, 1 game less for Soboslai.
Soboslai.
But I think Madison
So for
edges
your-
all the stats here.
Edging. For your eye test, how consistent is Silverslide?
I think he's gotten better, but it's just I think there's days where Curtis Jones. I think it depends on what opponents we're going to and what you're seeking from. I think Curtis Jones is more of a playmaker compared to Dominic Soboslai, who is basically there to do like the grunt work a bit. I mean, I like both of them. I like both of them honestly, but I just think people look at stats, but you have to see what behind like the fact that he's running, putting pressure, and those things are not counted for in stats. But
because for me, I was gonna say because for James Madison, it's been ups and downs. So I was like, his consistency might be the reason I don't put him on this list. But he's had a lot of highs too, where it's like
because the last game he just scored the two games before he just scored.
That's true. But then he plays a Europa League, and you're like, who is this player? Why isn't he the same player we just saw, last week?
Yeah, so. I think Dominic is a little bit more consistent than James Madison. But yeah,
you're just saying that.
But he doesn't have the stats that Madison have. But I do see Dominic being a little more. But like I said, but it looks like he isn't consistent because they switch it up and give Curtis Jones the job in the starting lineup sometimes. But I like Dominic because he does he does the running. He does the dirty work. But yeah, he doesn't get the stats and the goals and the assists like that. But he does everything else that needs to be done for the team.
I think I'm gonna go.
Pat's the one who's gonna decide.
I think I'm gonna go Madison. I think the fact that Curtis Jones gets to start over Soboslai sometimes, I just think that there's got to be a reason. You know what I mean? And they have just about a game difference within these stats, and Madison still edges the defensive side as well. So I think I'm going to go Madison. All right.
Let's go.
Attacking midfielders. Who have we got?
I put Kulusevski.
All right.
I agree. I put Kulusevski as well.
All right. So let's go Kulusevski. And now we're moving on to the top 3. So we're going to go Saka. Right? Okay.
Who?
Oh, okay. You'll see who when we play you again. All right, so let's start left wing, right wing, and then striker. So let's start with the left wing.
Diaz. Alan's thinking. You're thinking, and that's already because you don't know who to. Just say Diaz.
So I was going to say Son, but...
Okay.
But what? You said the but for a reason.
No, but he has like 6 assists.
But why are you like hesitant? Like so
because as a ball carrier, it's him on that left wing is you see his age kind of coming into play. I think he's not the best carrier of the ball, especially one-on-ones with those defenders. But I think he's tied for 3rd most assists. I mean,
I just think when you see Diaz
he's has
like
3
a
assists
maker.
Though. So they're 8 and 8 goal and assists combined. Son has 4 goals, 4 assists. Luis Diaz got 5 goals, 3 assists. So they're pretty even. Successful dribbles. Son has more. Progressive dribbles. Diaz has more.
I'll give this to Diaz. I think.
Okay. All right. You could put Son as striker. I would consider that.
But that's the thing. Son sort of floats around. The same with Diaz, but I just think
with Son at striker for us this season, it has not been great.
All right, let's move on to right wing then.
Salad.
Is that even a question?
Salad.
What was that, Alan?
Pensala.
Penalty merchant.
Yeah.
All right. Let's
whatever.
Mo penalty.
All right, so we'll start the right
Mo goals,
and then who do we got as striker?
This is a good one.
Striker?
Definitely not Darwin.
Why? I mean, that depends. Like but go ahead with your. No, go ahead with what you're gonna say. You're gonna pick Dominic.
You know what?
Solanke.
I'll go with the ex-Liverpool Solanke. But
of course, because who else you got?
Okay, this is Son. But
true.
But
it's hard it's going to be hard because what Solanke does for us, I don't think is so much of a striker stat. what
Exactly.
he does off
That's
the
what I was
ball
going to say
and
for
the
Darwin
work
as
effort
well.
he puts.
That's what I was going to say.
I mean,
for
if
Darwin
we're
as
comparing
well.
Darwin or Nunez, I'll go Solanke.
I think Darwin or Nunes are the same player.
Because like you
Is
said,
that what I said?
Darwin does run back and play defense. He does all that stuff. But I would say Jota, because he was in fine form before he got injured, and then just to come back from his injury and to score the tying goal.
So you're going for Jota against Solanke?
I'd go for Diego. Yeah, Jota. He was our main striker, but he's been injured, and then just to come back from that game and do the tying goal.
Interesting here. So Solanke has about double the amount of minutes played that Jota has. And Jota has 3 goals, 3 assists. Solanke has 5 goals, 4 assists. Not exactly double.
Yeah, but then again, like I said, Jota was injured for I believe a month and a half to 2 months. So that was the pace he was going for, and then he got injured. But I just think, but again, you can continue with the stats.
Like I said, the stacks aren't gonna tell you what Solanke does for us because he does a lot more than we're reading here.
Yeah, if you want,
like
even look up
off the
Nunez,
ball.
but the same thing. Like I said, Nunez, he does the exact same thing. He goes and plays defense. He's like a Roberto Firmino for me, that he goes and helps he's not just a forward. He goes and plays defense, sets up plays in the midfield. He's not afraid to do the tackles and do all that stuff and running around.
I think just for the...
It's up to you.
I think I think I'm going to have to give it to Solanke on this one just because Jota is coming back. That means I think Solanke would be the more informed player.
In form? What, he scored last game?
No, but I mean, he's...
But Jota just came back from injury and he scored a goal. He's already in form compared to someone who's been playing.
That is true.
Someone who's been playing already.
And if he's in form. Solanke is in form. That's what I'm telling you. It's the system. It's not so much the player. It's
well, the player can work in the system.
Look at our goal distribution. We scored the most goals in the Premier League.
So if he's been in the system longer than Jota's been out and he still can't do it, Jota just comes back from injury into a must-win game or to get a point out of Fulham, and he does it and scores right after coming back from an injury. I think that's
what does that mean? And there's a lot of players that can do that. You can drop a player in and they just score once. Did
Solanke score when he came back from his injury?
Yeah, eventually.
Really? Eventually, there you go.
But like I said, it's what is that? Is that the
heat map?
Heat map?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, I see a lot of it on the bench.
This is a tough one. Yeah, so it might be another.
Oh, you see, what was that heat map again? That's Solanke?
This is Jota.
And what was the Solanke?
This is Solanke.
I don't even see anything red.
What is that? What is it measuring?
This is the heat map.
I think Solanke's cold because that heat map ain't warming up.
No.
He's got one spot that he gravitates to.
If Liverpool can do it without Jota, but Spurs can't do it without Solanke, that says a lot.
What are you talking about? We're still in the first place. We've managed to do it without Jota.
Exactly. So is it really just him, or is it just the team?
We've done it with Darwin Nunez, and I know you guys talk a lot of. Even Cody Gakpo can do it. Or if you want, you can look up. We have
So you're saying it doesn't matter. So you're saying it doesn't matter that position doesn't matter.
But Jota is our main striker.
It's the system.
But then again, our players have been playing in this. What?
Why was he on the bench?
Because he also plays left wing. He plays right wing. He's flexible.
Just put Timo on. Just
Timo Werner. Oh.
So we got
whatever
shots on target. I think Solanke's got a better shot on target ratio. In open play, I think I'm going to have to give it to Solanke for this one. I think if they were both on the same team, I think Solanke starts over Jota tomorrow.
It's not to say we're probably going to do another one.
I think by the end of the season, I think it could change. But in the moment, like I said, I think
it could change after next game either,
Yeah.
Like by Monday, we could have a different.
The way I'm thinking about this is it's one game, right? It's one game, and I think if Jota and Solanke both play for Tottenham, I think and starts Solanke, and I think if they both played for Liverpool, I think Slot puts Solanke up there instead of Jota.
Really?
At least for this game this weekend.
The homecoming.
So I'm gonna give it to Solanke for this one. But
So for a guy who doesn't even run, that's fine. Solanke is fine.
What?
well, you're looking for a striker.
Oh,
I mean,
my
not
God.
looking for an 8. You know what I mean? So I'm just like I said, it could change by the next. You guys have to play again, and by that time, Jota's going to be warmed up, and I expect him.
He was warmed up straight out of injury.
All right. So here we got the combined 11. If you have any issues, Alan's email is just kidding. So we got Allison in goal. Then we have from left to right and the defense, we got Udoggy, Gomez, Virgil van Dijk, and Pedro Porro. In the midfield, we have Gravenberg, Madison, and Kulusevski. And then at the very top, we have Luis Diaz, Dominic Solanke, and Mohamed Salah. Boom. There we go. So now let's move into predictions. So I'll start just so we get it out of the way. We have Crystal Palace at home hosting Arsenal. Arsenal looking to pick up Eze on their way back after grabbing 3 points. I'm going to give Arsenal the win. Arsenal win 2-1.
Tie.
Okay.
Next.
Yeah, I agree, Ty.
All right.
Yeah, at least we agree on something, Randy.
Then we're going to move on to Spurs at home hosting Liverpool. And this is a highlight game of the week. So this will count as double points or zip for either Alan or Randy. So let's start with Alan.
This is going to have to be a shootout because Dragusin and Archie Gray is going to be a bad defensive front for us back there in front of Fraser Forster. I think our best defense is going to be offense. I can't go against my boys.
Yes, you can.
Let's go.
You want to get points in the
3-2 to the Spurs over Liverpool. Shootout. We win. Bam, bam.
Ooh.
He said his best offense is what? His best defense is
Our
offense.
best defense is offense.
But good luck trying to get through our back four. And Allison. Easy. Okay, that's we'll see.
Fulham can do it. We can do
it.
it.
It's going to be easier against Dragusin and Archie Gray and Forster.
Big hands Forster. You can't get him past
Ooh,
him.
clip it. I'm going to be clipping all these, just so you know.
Fine. You can clip all you want.
Yeah, I just said it's a shootout.
Yeah.
I just said it's a shootout.
Yeah.
So, what was your score, Alan? Sorry,
you said 3-2.
3-2. Okay. All right, Randy, what's your score?
It's going to be 3-1.
Ooh.
Liverpool.
What was the Southampton score for you guys?
Doesn't matter what it was. If you want to go to the past, we can go to the past. Did you beat Crystal Palace? Did you beat? Who are the teams you lost?
Worry about next week. Worry about Sunday.
Yeah, that's exactly. We had one loss this season. How many did you have?
Worry about Sunday.
Oh, I think his mic is off. I think he jumped again. You're not catching that. But yeah, 3-1 Liverpool.
Ooh, clip it.
I think it'll be a shootout,
3-1.
but I just think your defense and your goalkeeper are way more in trouble than we're just missing Konate. We have Joe Gomez. Maybe we'll see who's on left back, but I just think our team is going to be able to withstand your punishment. We ain't Manchester City.
Ooh, clip it. All right.
We'll get it done.
All right, give me a clippable moment.
And what about you, Pat?
Oh,
it is the game of the week, or the week of the game.
I am going to go also with a shootout, but this is going to end in tears for both of you guys. It's going to be a 3-3 draw.
Oh, I actually could see that as well.
3-3 draw.
All these possibilities are...
Look, I think Tottenham go up 3-0 in the first half, and then they lose it at the very end. Hat trick by Mo Salah. Last one is a penalty.
Oh, no.
If you want to...
You're sweating already?
Make it interesting. What's it called? Dragusin gets a red card.
Ooh.
And then,
is there any red cards in this game?
The only one I have is Robert.
If it was the Spurs, it would be Dragusin because
there you go.
He fails his defensive assignments and then he falls back and then instead of
So there you go. It
just,
sounds perfect. Then he tackles Mo Salah, gets a red card. Mo gets the penalty, and it's a game over.
All right, which coach gets a yellow card, and if both, who gets it first?
Wait, Arnie's not going to be there, huh?
No, Arnie is going to be there. He's going to miss a Southampton game, which is a cup game. So now there's no problem.
Alan,
Alan,
you forget that Liverpool had this whole thing rigged. He'll be there. He'll be there. Don't worry.
If Andy Robertson comes on, I'm sure I'll expect that too.
Oh wow! What is Harry Kane going to make an appearance now?
It's going to be a Mo Salah penalty kick for some stupid handball that. Yeah, don't worry.
Okay.
Let's see if Big Hand Forster can block.
The boys come through. Hey,
maybe they're going to wear the blue jersey.
That's Messi's boy.
Maybe they're going to wear the blue. Maybe they're going to wear the blue jersey. I know that's your good luck charm.
I was so nervous when they saw that jersey came out with Southampton. I was like, no, here we go. But it's gonna be a good game.
All right. So now we look into the mini league for the week. We had a woeful past mini league. So I got no points for the last game. I think Manchester United stumped all of us. We all guessed either a draw or a loss for United, but they win. Randy doesn't get a point either. So Alan is the only one that gets a point this week. Mr. Comeback.
A point.
So he gets a point for the Tottenham win over Southampton. And now the table stands with me at first, Pat at first, 24 points, Randy in second with 17 points, and Alan super close behind him with 11 points.
All I just want to say is I hope one of our teams wins this Rivals because we haven't been able to use the bragging rights, and it's been weird since the last game, which was Arsenal and Spurs, which actually mattered something.
I'm excited.
So hopefully we can get
clips of these.
Hopefully we can. Yeah, we clipped and it's just in the scrapbook somewhere. But I hope someone gets bragging rights so we can use it and see what stuff they can come up with.
All right, who wants to close it out?
What are you talking about? We still got a bunch of games left.
No, we went over everything.
What? Oh, he's so nervous.
Yeah, he doesn't even know where he's standing.
Discombobulated. You're so discombobulated.
I know we're at the top. That's where we're standing.
Don't get too dizzy and drop now.
Don't worry, we're good. The only thing the things are going to drop are Spurs. They're going to be underneath Manchester United.
You know how many fans we're going to have? We're going to have all the Chelsea fans. We're going to have all the Arsenal fans, Man City fans. They're all going to be behind us.
They're going to be looking at what stadium is it at? Because they have no name. So they're going to be lost.
Oh, you'll know our name by the end of it.
Oh, yeah. Mid-table.
Clip it.
Relegation battle.
All right. Let's close it out.
That's an episode 22. Thank you for tuning in. I do ask a favor for you guys with holidays coming, around the corner. If you could please gift us something free. If you go ahead and share this podcast, auto download us, and give us some ratings on Spotify or wherever you listen to this. That'll be greatly appreciated. Rivals on the Pitch. Check out our Instagram. Tune in next week when hopefully it's another victory Monday for the mighty Spurs. Liverpool dropping some points. No one cares about Arsenal. See you next time. My name's Alan.
I'm Randy.
And I'm Pat.